It's no wonder that Order 66 has managed to repeatedly spark so many morbid curiosities around the world. It was one of the most brutal, unforgiving, and unexpected sequences of the Star Wars franchise, and no one really saw it coming. For better or for worse, 99% of the Jedi Order was slaughtered thanks to the Order, enabling Palpatine to use the chaos and confusion to his advantage, toppling the ancient Galactic Republic and reforming it into his own personal galactic empire. With that said, rather than looking further than the events of Order 66, we'll stay at this point in the timeline, and continue to dig deeper, discovering as many facts as we can about the single most fascinating event within the Star Wars universe. Throughout the video, we'll continue to feed this hunger by discussing what happened to the rogue clones who, unlike their buddies, didn't receive the order to exterminate the Jedi, whether it was due to medical reasons or something even more sinister. Just before we kick this video off, for those of you who missed out on the announcement last video, we're excited to announce the Intergalactic Lounge, a website created by gamers for gamers. Although it's only in its very early stages, the Intergalactic Lounge comes equipped with an array of features, such as the Game With Me forums, which enable you to find a compatible gaming partner, as well as the group feature, allowing people with mutual interests to build small communities within the site. We're also proud to announce that we're now partnered with the decentralized cryptocurrency called OKCash. In the coming weeks, we plan to integrate buy and trade game features within our site using the currency, but if you want a head start and want more info, check out their Discord and website in the description below, and say Geetsly sent you. Anyways, onto the video. From what we know in canon at least, when Order 66 is activated, the inhibitor chip operates as a temporary mind control device of sorts, allowing clones to have no free will or control over their actions, their only desire being to kill Jedi. The war, however, was in full swing when the order came through, leading us to believe that there must have been troops that had no signal at the time of transmission, whether it be due to them being unconscious at the time or a plethora of other potential events that could have led to an Order 66 glitch of sorts. Although the topic is relatively hazy, we do have two great examples to work off. These examples of course being a V-19 pilot called Hob 147 and a 501st medic called Kix. Kix, as many of us already know, knew a little bit too much about Order 66 before it happened, leading Count Dooku to kidnap him, put him in a stasis, load him into a ship, and attempt to take him to Separatist-controlled space. He never did manage to do this, and as fate would have it, the ship transporting Kix was attacked by the Republic, resulting in its eventual crash, leaving Kix in a permanent stasis. 40 years later, after being awoke by a band of pirates however, Kix had no obvious bloodthirst for Jedi and the order was ineffective. Our second example, however, gives us much more insight into the possibilities of what would have happened to those temporarily unconscious or out of range during the transmission of Order 66. Hob 147 was a V-19 starfighter pilot during the Clone Wars and as luck would have it was shot down and rendered unconscious right when Order 66 was issued. He miraculously survived and after floating adrift in space for a while was picked up by a junk salvager carrying roughly 11 Jedi younglings. As he awoke on the ship, he clearly had no recollection of Order 66 and initially thought the man operating the junk salvager had kidnapped the Jedi younglings. After subduing Hob 147, the crew explained that Palpatine had enacted the order to exterminate the Jedi, and that these younglings were on a ship bound to the Outer Rim to escape the Empire. Upon first hearing this, Hob 147 didn't believe it, but when a boarding party of clones came to search the ship for Jedi, he quickly changed his tune. Imbued with free thought from practically avoiding Order 66, Hob 147 decided to directly disobey the order, and trick the boarding party into thinking that he already searched the ship, and that there was no need to do so again. He then left with the clone search group and presumably joined the Empire, not only making Hob 147 one of the only known clones to disobey Order 66, but also one of the only known clones to disobey Order 66 due to simply not receiving it. This leads me to personally believe that this wasn't as uncommon as many would think. There were thousands of clones fighting on dozens of planets throughout the galaxy, thus making it inevitable that some would be unconscious at the time of Order 66. The only difference between them and Hob 147 being that they would have been in Republic medical camps rather than adrift in space, thus giving them no opportunity to actively disobey the order. Much like Hob 147, after awakening and regardless of their personal thoughts, the previously unconscious clones would have followed their brethren into the Empire. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave me your thoughts and interpretations on unconscious or out of range clones during Order 66 in the comments below as I love reading them. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description below and of course chucking our website a visit is greatly appreciated. I'll see you in the next video.